Okay, just gotta set this baby up, and oh, yep, there's the camera. Okay. Hello everybody, as you can see this is a new location. I just want to try something different because filming in my own bedroom in the background was just a bit busy, so I thought I'd film in this spare room. And hopefully, let's see if this looks a bit better, because there's not as much like stuff behind me. So yeah, let's see how that works. Anyway, today I want to tell you about the story about how I got this hat. See, I was a little young kid back in Christmas Day of, well, I can't remember the year. That's not important. Anyway, so as you can see in this totally real and not just reenacted footage, I was busy being a little kid and watching really dumb cartoon Christmas movies on TV when all of a sudden this one film appeared. It wasn't a Christmas film, but they still showed it on Christmas Day. Probably because they thought not many people were going to watch it and they might as well just throw it out there. And this film, it was so mediocre. So mediocre, in fact, that I vowed that day I would always wear hats because, I don't know, it scarred me, I guess. I didn't really put much thought into that. I mean, really, this is just a pointless backstory so we could just pretend this review has meaning when it really doesn't. It's just me doing a review because I felt like it. Anyway, well, just cue the intro. Hello everybody, and today we're going to talk about the 1972 film Journey Back to Oz, which is touted as the official sequel to the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, even going so far as to cast the daughter of Judy Garland as Dorothy. Now, you might be asking yourself, hang on a second, The Wizard of Oz can have sequels? Well, yes, it can, because I don't know if you know this, but the original film was based on a book, and that book had 13 sequels. Or 39 sequels, or an infinite amount of sequels. It depends on who you ask. The canon of Wizard of Oz is a bit vague, there's quite a lot of books. The film itself is loosely based on the second book, and if you don't know what the plot of the second book is, I'm going to sum it up right now for you. The Marvelous Land of Oz follows the adventure of Tip, who is an orphan boy who works for the witch Mombi. One day, Tip decides to pull a prank on Mombi with a pumpkin head. Mombi's not fooled by this trick and decides to test out her bring-to-life powder that she recently bought. Manages to bring the pumpkin head alive, and just false, the pumpkin head is named Jack Pumpkinhead. Later on that night, Mombi decides to threaten Tip for that prank, and Tip, having none of it, decides to escape from her alongside Jack Pumpkinhead. They also steal the powder of life, because hey, powder that can bring anything to life, that could be useful. As they're escaping, they find a sawhorse that they decide to test the powder on, and it works perfectly fine. So they decide to use that to escape on because it's a faster mode of transportation. The three of them decide to escape to the Emerald City because they believe that the Scarecrow can help them out with their problems. Tip gets separated from the sawhorse and Jack Pumpkinhead at one point, and ends up meeting this general called General Ginger and her all-female army, who are planning to take over the Emerald City because they believe that Scarecrow should not be ruling it. Tip doesn't agree with them and decides to head to the Emerald City to warn the Scarecrow of this. Meanwhile, Jack and the Sawhorse have already reached the Emerald City, and Jack has been having a wonderful conversation with the Scarecrow before Tip arrives to warn them about the oncoming army. But he's too late and the army has already taken over most of the Emerald City. So Tip, Jack, the Sawhorse and Scarecrow decide to escape the city to the land of the Winkies to ask Tin Woodman for help. As they're escaping the Emerald City, Mombi then shows up to the Emerald City trying to look for Tip, and decides to join the all-female army as a way to find Tip. The gang arrive at the Tin Woodman's kingdom and ask the Tin Woodman for help, which he agrees on, and they decide to head back to the Emerald City to find a plan. On the way they keep on being attacked by Mombi, but they find a way to get around each and everything. They also meet some thing called Wogglebug, but no one likes a Wogglebug. So anyway, the Wogglebug decides to join them, and they come up with a plan to take back the Emerald City. That plan works, but then they find out that really all they've done is take back the castle and the army is all around them about to capture them again. So they decide this time to escape by a flying machine using the powder to bring to life a Gump. Using this Gump-based flying machine, they then head to the south to Glinda's kingdom to ask her for help. She accepts, but under one condition. You see, Glinda tells them that before the Scarecrow was born and before the Wizard of Oz was ruled of the Emerald City, there was a king, and he had an heir called Princess Ozma. But Princess Ozma was kidnapped as a baby by Mombi. So Glinda wants to ask where Princess Ozma is hidden, and if they can find her, reinstall her as the true ruler of the Emerald City. Scarecrow agrees to these terms because he's tired of being a ruler, because, all this stuff is happening and he just doesn't want to deal with it, so yeah. We'll get someone else to do it. And they head back to the Emerald City where they manage to defeat the army and capture Mombi. Glinda questions Mombi about where Princess Ozma is hidden, and in a shock twist, Mombi reveals that Princess Ozma has been Tip all along, because when Princess Ozma was a baby, Mombi decided to use some powerful magic to change Princess Ozma's gender, so no one could find her. Tip is shocked by this news because, now he's finding out that he's actually a princess. But, he slowly gets over it, and, the spells reverse, and Tip is turned into Princess Ozma, and the day is saved thanks to everyone. Except for the Waggle-Bug. Fuck the Waggle-Bug. So, that's the summary of the second book. Now, you might be asking, how much does this film borrow from the second book? Well, imagine this piece of paper here is the book, right? Mostly because what I'm about to do to it, I don't want to do to the book. Okay? So this is what the film does to the book. Oh look, we still have Jack, and we still have Mombi. We don't have anything else. That's just all in the trash. Yes, that summary of the book I just did was completely pointless, as the film only borrows a few elements from it. But I thought I might as well just tell you that it's technically meant to be an adaptation of this book. Anyway, let's review this film now. So, the film starts with the very highly original idea of having Dorothy just complaining on the farm in Kansas. And just one thing I gotta note, it's like, occasionally when the characters are speaking, they just have a habit of moving their hands a lot. Which, I don't know whether or not to state that as a problem or not, because on the one hand, it's better than the characters just standing still and doing nothing. But on the other hand, no one really talks like they're doing this all the time, you don't move your hands about while you're talking all the time, it just looks ridiculous, Anyway, surprise surprise, another twist is coming, because, the people who made this film were just too lazy of thinking of another way to get Dorothy to also just do another twister. But this time there's a difference. Let's get knocked down by a gate. Oh boy. I mean, that gate didn't even look like it hit that much, but yeah, fair enough. Knocked down by a gate. Well, I gotta say one thing to the credit of the film though. This is a pretty nice opening. Especially how they introduce each voice actor by something that represents their character. Yeah, nice little things like that do work. Anyway, so Dorothy and Toto, because, Toto has to come with her. Or else, how will people know this is a sequel to Oz? Ooh. Looking up in Oz and decide that the first thing they should probably do is head to the Emerald City. Because, hey, when in Oz, might as well visit the best place in Oz. On the way, they encounter a signpost who won't tell them the way. Then he starts singing. Well, everybody knows. Well, I think that's singing. It's hard to tell, actually. I mean, that's a problem. Like, most of the songs in this film are alright, but some of them just like they're not even trying. Like this one. The signpost points 3 ways to the Emerald City, and Dorothy and Toad decide to take the right way. Which is weird, because thinking about it, you think the middle way would be the one that goes straight to the Emerald City. Because, I mean, if you think carefully about all these yellow roads, it's kind of obvious that the one that goes into the middle would take you to the centre area, which is where the Emerald City is. But, that's just a pointless thing I wanted to mention there. Anyway, so they get lost and they end up meeting... Ah! Oh, Jesus Christ, that's scary.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, that's way too scary. Anyway, they meet Jack Pumpkinhead. We find out that Jack Pumpkinhead was working for a wicked witch named Mombi, and he was forced to do such things as...
But when it comes to feeding the spiders and dusting the toads...
Like, how does that even work? I mean, do toads get dust on them? I mean, I I have no idea how that works. Yeah, all of a sudden a cat appears and, you know, we got time to waste in this film, so we see this really pointless scene of cat chasing. Oh man, that's wildly exciting. And all of a sudden they end up at Mombi's house, where they find a talking animal. Oh man, I'm really shocked that a talking animal is in Oz, because Oz doesn't have talking animals. Dorothy finds out that Mombi plans to make an army of green elephants to take over the Emerald City. Yes, you heard me right. They decided to replace an all-female army with green elephants. Either they were literally not giving a shit, or this is secretly a metaphor for something. Metaphor for what? I don't know. Anyway, instead of trying to put a stop to this plan by, you know, just tipping over the pot, Dorothy does nothing till Mombi's arrived. And there's something weird with Mombi's dialogue in this scene. It seems like she keeps in kind of mid-sentence through Dorothy, and not in a way that seems natural. It seems like it's like badly edited. Like, just take a listen and see if you can, well, hear what I'm hearing.
I'd like to, but I really can't. It isn't often that I have such pleasant company.
Like, it just seemed like it's sloppily, like, edited together. It's weird. Anyway, now that they learned about Mombi's plan of green elephants, you think Mombi would, like, kill them, or at least find a way to make sure they don't bother the plan, but instead she just puts her in an armchair and just, you know, leaves. I mean, seriously, Mombi, you're meant to be evil. You could do a bit more than that. I mean, all you're doing is, like, having a situation where Dorothy could escape and then, I don't know, go to the Emerald City to tell Scarecrow. Luckily, Dorothy and the gang found a way to escape somehow, you know. Why not? And Jack Pumpkinhead asks, what can they do? To which Dorothy replies by singing. It's not very helpful, you know? You know, he's kind of asking, like, hey, can we find a way to escape? Well, what should we do now? But instead you just start singing. I mean, seriously, Dorothy, that's a bit unhelpful. Anyway, so they decide to head to the Emerald City, but on the way they meet a merry-go-round horse, because apparently a sawhorse was just not good enough, so let's go for a merry-go-round horse instead. I mean, there was a merry-go-round horse in one of the later books, so fuck it, why not? Anyway, one thing I want to mention about this scene is Pumpkinhead won't stop shaking. It's kind of weird. I wonder if he's on any drugs or not. Just keeps on shaking. Anyway, the merry-go-round horse has a really sad story to tell, and Dorothy in reply say this.
I like sad stories. They're the best kind.
It's a bit weird, Dorothy. I mean, okay, liking sad stories, but fair enough. Anyway, so then the merry-go-round horse decided to sing a song, and this guy's really not trying with his song. Heck, it sounds like he's drunk for most of it. Anyway, they decided to muck about a bit more before heading to the Emerald City, and really, they get into the Emerald City perfectly fine. I mean, you know, it's not that guarded that well. And they tried to warn the Scarecrow about the impending attack. Well, I guess it's now time to formulate a plan. I mean, you can waste no time in trying to find a way to defend this place. I mean, you know, they have literally no time left. They need to find a plan right now. So what does the Scarecrow do?
You're better off.
Yeah, let's just start singing instead. Yeah, that's a good plan. Let's just start singing. Oh, well, it's fine to finish singing, so let's see if he finally... Oh my god! Elephants, man, elephants. They just wreck everything. Anyway, Dorothy and the gang, minus Toto and Scarecrow, obviously, decide to head to the Tin Woodman because maybe he can help, and guess what? The Tin Woodman Kingdom, well...
Welcome to Tinland.
We sure the Tin Woodman's not actually villain? I mean, yeah, he takes the Kingdom of the Winkies and turns it into a robotized kingdom of his own. I mean, he probably turned all the people there into robots. It's just a bit evil. They tell him about the green elephant, and he's about to help, but then his LSD kicks in. So he's completely useless, so they decide to talk to the Lion instead. And Lion's agreeing to help, but then his LSD kicks in as well. Wondering who else could help them, they decide, hey, maybe Glinda. And instead of going to Glinda, she just shows up there, because this is film Glinda. They decide to ask Glinda for help, but her LSD also hits him. But luckily, she does still help her in a drugged up state by giving them a box that will solve all their problems somehow. But they can only open it in the Emerald City. Yeah, they head back to the Emerald City where... Elephants, man, elephants. They just wreck everything. So they open the box and it's revealed to be quite a lot of mice. It's like the clown cat version of mice. Seriously, how do they fit in that box? And because elephants are scared of mice, which I don't know if that's actually true or not. I mean, would an elephant really be scared of something so small? But anyway, it works. Meanwhile, Scarecrow is being tortured by Mombi. But the torture's not working, so she decides to just tell her backstory instead, which is even more torturous.
My sisters and my cousins and my aunts.
I mean, yeah, at this point she could probably just kill them by now, but again, she seems to be a very terrible villain. I mean, she's threatening to kill them, but she's taking her damn time. I mean, by this point, oh look. Look what happened. Yeah, that's what happened when you wait, Mombi. Yeah, like in the book, Mombi decided to disguise herself when everyone's trying to find her. And disguise herself as a rose, but unlike the book, it's a giant rose, so it's kind of a pointless disguise. I mean, you can clearly still tell it's Mombi. Like, you know, you can see her face and everything. But the disguise, well, I mean, it works because no one can find her for some reason. But some elephants kill her. And I don't mean, like, you know, they hurt her and she's, like, in pain and everyone laugh. I mean, she's dead. But you just saw someone get, like, stomped to death by some elephants. It's kind of a graphic way to go now, I'm thinking about it. So Mombi is dying and she's saying some really pointless thing. No one really cares. And everyone has a lusty cheer as all the magic disappeared. But, oh no! Jack Pumpkinhead... He was also made by the magic of Mombi, so he's dying, and now he's dead. And everyone's crying at this. Look at them, they're all sad. I mean, there's no way to bring them back, and that's where the film ends. I mean, yes, there is 15 more minutes to go, but I don't really care at this point. I mean, my main problem with this film isn't really the plot per se, it's just, like, the animation itself is just very cheaply done. It was Filmation, so, you know, what do you expect? But still... There's just so many just weird things, and the editing in places is just all over the place. Add to that a plot that just doesn't really have that much excitement. Like, there's not really enough, like, hurdles the heroes have to come across. It's mostly just go over here, ask this person for help, go over here, ask this person for help, and occasionally Mombi stopping them, but not really that many times, you know? The first time I saw this film, I completely forgot it for years until I was reminded of it and go, oh yeah, that. I don't know why I forgot about it, and the answer was because it was just so... So, you know, overall, I give this film a... out of 10.